Hi Signets, it's BB. This is Pure Red Velvet, and welcome to another At Present. If you hear weird digging noises, that's my cat because she decided to go to the bathroom right this very moment and is obsessively digging. I haven't done an At Present for a while, so will I know how to get back into the swing of it? I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna start with YouTube. So lately I've been watching or looking for desperately tarot practice videos, and practice as in like intentional habit, right? Intentional exercise. So not really practicing reading tarot, but using tarot to do maybe deeper study or deeper work, energetic work, or self-work, right? Creative work, etc., etc. I was really inspired by Marlena's video. I will link it below. It's a month to come for October, where she was planning out what tarot practices she was going to incorporate for October. And I loved the idea of the structure. I commented on that video that it was really inspiring for me and motivating, really, because as I've discussed on this channel previously, I read for other people most of the time, and reading for myself is kind of either like a quick thing, an unsatisfactory thing. Like my mind just goes to a reading like so quickly. Like if I do 3 cards or something, say, that I get the message so quickly that I don't know, I don't ruminate over it, and I don't honestly always know how to go deeper when I do take the time to go deeper with other people. Maybe that's like me intellectualizing my feelings rather than processing them, like, you know, not taking the time to sit with things. It's just probably not in my nature. I like to feel my feelings, but I also like am quick to come to a conclusion about how I feel, you know? I definitely can like go a while and have realizations about my feelings that come up throughout like the day or weeks, but they're usually not tarot related. That is a long way of saying that because of Marlena's video, I have been like searching and searching for every video I can find about people's monthly or weekly practices or journaling, and honestly it's not very easy. Like if you know of a good one, please link it. I've seen some good stuff with Tarot Magpie. She got a new journal and was talking about her kind of process and how it's going to change in 2024, and that I really enjoyed, and I'll be taking some pages out of her book for sure, like journaling. I just signed up for the Stickii Club, which is, I don't know if that was something I included. Oh yeah, it's something I'll talk about later. I'll explain that later. But I kind of want to do a journal with tarot readings, with energetic readings or feelings, and like with themes. I want to have like structure, and I'll talk more about that. I'll make a video on what my 2024 plans are for sure. That's being worked out currently, but I have some exciting stuff that like with friends I think we're going to do as a group, so that's really cool. I mean as a group, but like on our own personal practice, so kind of on our own, but maybe with like a prompt or a guide, right, with everybody else. So yeah, that's kind of been my YouTube. Like I feel like I haven't had time to watch a lot of YouTube lately. Oh, I also started watching last night, I think, or maybe yesterday morning. I went to Disneyland yesterday and I was there for almost 12 hours and I was so beat. But I think when I woke up at like 5:45 in the morning to get ready, which was not necessary, it's just when my friends like They were going to be there at 8. I ended up getting there at 8:30, so I did okay. Anyway, I was watching a video that Don Michelle and Lisa Pepez did like a live stream. I don't know, maybe it was like a year ago. I don't remember. I'll link that as well. And it was about tarot in practice, which is something that Don Michelle talks about a lot. And so I started listening to that while I was getting ready, and that seemed really cool too. So that might give me some ideas. I need to finish watching that. I have a watch later list of 5,000 videos. Please don't at me. Like, I don't understand why and how. No, I do understand why and how. It's literally just because my life has been so busy lately. I haven't had a lot of alone time, and like, that's what I do when I'm alone, you know? Yeah. So work has been really busy, so I haven't really been able to like put it on in the background, but I have so many things I want to catch up on. But I am feeling, like I said, really inspired. So that's very cool. Wow. Okay. That was a lot of talk about nothing, really. Instagram. I don't usually talk about Instagram, but if you want to follow me on Instagram, I don't post a lot of posts, but I do sometimes post stories. I will try to do more posts in 2024. My Instagram is Pure Red Velvet, just like the name of this channel. I have been following Rose Bay on Instagram and her process of making her deck. And it's a tarot deck. It's very Venusian. It's very, very cool. I think it's going to be called the Sistine Tarot, but I will double check and I will give you some visuals here. But I'm like beyond excited. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so stoked. And I've talked to her a little bit on Instagram. Very exciting. Also, I just want to give a shout out to the creator of When Olga Speaks. I think her Instagram is Artsy Girls Be Like. I don't know what she will be publishing, like her oracle under, like what name. But Sasha, I love you, and I love all of the exposure your oracle has been getting. Catamancy did a great walkthrough of it, and then she also did a Kickstarter earlier this year. It didn't fund for several reasons. We think mostly due to timing, but she will be launching a new Kickstarter on Halloween, October 31st. So I will definitely be backing that. And then if you've already seen it on YouTube, which some people have shown it, like I said, Catamancy's shown it, and I've seen a couple other people have it too. She did release a prototype on, I think, Make Playing Cards for a limited time. It's not available now. I don't have it yet, but I'm just so excited. Like, it looks so good. So yeah, that's what I've been doing on Instagram. Kickstarter. Okay, it's been like mayhem on Kickstarter, okay? I just backed the Sexcraft Oracle, sexuality warning, nudity warning, witchy warning, demon imagery warning here. But I'm really, really stoked about that. I'm not usually into super witchy stuff. I think it's really cool. Like, I love the aesthetic of all type of witch stuff. Like, it doesn't even matter what kind. But it doesn't feel like authentic to me most of the time. But for some reason, this does. This very much does. So I saw it and immediately backed it. I don't know if it's still live. I will check. Another Kickstarter that I just backed is the Chicken Tarot. I do think this still has some time. So if you're interested, I will leave the link below. Please, please back this. I want this to fund so badly. Never in a million years did I think that I would need a chicken themed tarot deck, but the art is just so incredible. It's painted with, I believe, gouache painting and something else. I think she said in the Kickstarter. Maybe I'll add that info. And they're just gorgeous. It's so inspired. Like, it's really so inspired, and you can really tell. I love the borders on this. I love the colors. I love the illustrations. It's the sweetest thing. It kind of reminds me of the Fantastic Menagerie, but like different, like folky. Both the Sexcraft and the Chicken Tarot are like in their own ways very folky. Like Sexcraft is like the witch, you know, like very folk witch, a Salem-esque kind of thing, even before, kind of almost like European witch. And maybe that's why it appeals to me. I don't know. And then the Chicken Tarot feels very like English cottage, maybe. My grandma on my dad's side, her decor style was very English, and I loved it so much. She was Welsh, actually, and it makes me feel so connected to her in a way that I didn't when she was still here. I was close to her when I was a child, and she was always the sweetest person, and I loved her so much. But as an adult, I don't know, like there was this distance, and I'm sure a lot of it had to do with like she was having health problems. And when she passed, I didn't feel super sad, but for some reason, like when I think about her now, I get really emotional. Maybe because as we get older, we think about our mortality, and she was a really special person. And I guess when someone's gone, you wish you would have taken more time or expressed your feelings towards someone more. She was a really special person. Okay, anyway, whoa, that got heavy. I'm waiting on, I think all of these Kickstarters are closed, but I have a few that I'm waiting on. So I don't know how to pronounce this, but the Habitat Trom, I have been following this Kickstarter since before it was a Kickstarter on the creator's Instagram. Oh my gosh, I forget her name. I will put it here. And I'll put it in the description. But she's so great, and the backs of this deck are probably my favorite backs in the whole world. I can't even tell you why. I'll show a picture. They're like black ribbon, like black sheer ribbon looking, you know? And then it's like a gingham, like they cross each other, and it's a white background, but it just is so feminine and beautiful. I don't know. I love it. Okay. The next one that I'm waiting on is the Starlore Tarot, and this is by the same creator of the Renaissance Emblems Tarot, which I also have, and I featured in another video, not in like an at present video, but in a hashtag, like a tarot tag video. And I'm not going to include it here because I think I'm going to do a walkthrough of it, and I've had it a while, so it doesn't really feel like an at present. I got it earlier this summer, but that creator makes some really cool stuff. And they have a I think it's Urania Press. They have a Kickstarter right now that's currently funding. It's the Renaissance, or is it Renaissance Emblem. It's like the color version. I forget what they called it. For some reason, like it doesn't appeal to me, and I think it might just be like the background color mixed with the colors. Cause like in theory, I do like the idea, but I just have the original. It's black with like gold. I don't know. For some reason, I didn't back that one. I have enough. I'm doing enough. I'm doing it all. I'm waiting for the Ritual Marked Edition. Very excited about that. And I'm also waiting for Maria Tarot, which is like a new take on the Thoth. So I'm very excited. I'm very impatient. But in the meantime, I have a lot to work with. So I really have no reason to be. What have I been watching? I'm going to keep this kind of short because I'm sure I've been watching a lot of things, but the things that stuck out to me when I was writing notes was Foundation. So Foundation is on Apple, and if you haven't heard of it, it is an epic like sci-fi show, and It is based on the novel Foundation by Isaac Asimov, and Asimov is the person who coined the term robot. He also created the 3 laws of robotics. I don't remember the third one. I think a robot can't harm a human, a robot can't go against its programming, and then I don't remember the third. But I should probably have looked that up. Anyway, he's like this prolific sci-fi writer and kind of formed what we know about robots, like in sci-fi, right? This show has taken something like, you know, a genre, kind of like what Star Trek did, right? Like a genre that used to be just like white men in space, like talking to other white men, right? And made it something believable, more relevant when it comes to representation, inclusion, equity, you know, in shows. And like taken the blueprint also of this like really amazing novel and just, I don't know, like made it like an atom bomb where it just exploded into this amazing thing. If you like Dune, I recommend it. If you like Star Wars, I recommend it. It's not as action-y as Star Wars. Sometimes it gets kind of action-y on a bigger scale, like, right? Like space fighting, but it's not a ton of that. Star Wars was directly influenced by this novel. You have an empire in this universe, and that was lifted directly for Star Wars. If you like Star Trek, if you like epics, if you like fantasy, if you like Game of Thrones, all of these things, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. Season 1 was good, and there were parts of it that kind of slowed for me, and then season 2 was like incredible. By halfway through season 2, there was not one character I wasn't fully invested in their journey of and their story arc, and I don't know, it's so good. I can't wait until season 3, to be honest. I've also been watching Invasion, also on Apple, and this is about an alien invasion in the world. It's a slow burn. It's a ensemble cast, so it has a few main characters in different parts of the world and what happens to them and like their journeys after this alien invasion. And it's really cool. It's really compelling. Sometimes you feel like things aren't happening fast enough. Like if you're in the kind of mode of like, oh, it's a movie or it's like this epic, it's really more of like a mystery. But it's really well acted and the dialogue's really good. Yeah, I'm really digging it. We watch a couple episodes a day we were watching, and then now we're caught up. So the season finale of season 2 is coming out on Wednesday. I don't know when I'm posting this, but this Wednesday. Today is Sunday for me. So excited about that. And because of fall, I'm like really craving cozy things, right? Like cozy shows. We have been watching The Great British Baking Show. Why do they call it The Great British Bake Off in the UK, but they call it The Great British Baking Show in the US? I don't get that. But we've been watching that, and I've been craving something like Anne with an E. Like, has anyone watched that show? It is everything. Like, it is so fulfilling for me. I have watched the first season of I forget what it's called, Dickinson. But it doesn't really do the same thing for me that Anne with an E does. But honestly, I have more stuff to go, so I might as well just do that. That time period, I've been like craving that kind of, I don't know, Victorian, but not stuffy, like working class Victorian, or even like middle class Victorian. So if you have any show recommendations or movie recommendations that's kind of like Anne with an E, please comment below. I also can't wait for the Gilded Age season 2. So Gilded Age season 1 was great. I love a period piece. I've been craving that because I've been watching a lot of sci-fi, a lot of futuristic or like current things, and I just want to see people in trumpet sleeves, and bustles and things like that. The Gilded Age is based on a period called the Belle Epoque, or the Gilded Age. It was approximately like 1890 to 1910, and it was a real like economic war, kind of social war between old money in New York and new money. And the Gilded Age is like not just about New York. It's a time period in the Victorian era and Edwardian era, but the show is about New York, and it's based on real people. So you have people in the show who are real in history. So they have like Thomas Edison is mentioned. The woman, I forget her name, who started the Red Cross is in it for a little bit, but like the main characters are mostly renamed, but they're meant to represent people like the Rockefellers, etc. So season 2 is about like the opera. So very excited about that because the new money in New York wasn't allowed to go in the opera. So they had their own money and enough of it that they built their own opera house, which is very exciting. So I don't know if you're into any of that. I guess I should have disclaimed like it's gonna be a minute before I talk about decks. I'll put chapters in this. I want to talk about what I've been listening to as far as podcasts, and maybe I'll talk about a little bit about music too. Yeah. Okay. So also disclaimer, true crime, mental health, suicide warning. Okay. So click off or go to the next chapter if you don't want to hear this. Also LGBT like trauma. Okay. But I have listened to and finished this amazing podcast that really moved me, like made me cry all the time. It was called Dear Alana. It is about this wonderful human being named Alana who at 14 years old felt very called to be very active in the Catholic Church, and she wanted to be a nun, and she wanted to study to become a nun when she was old enough. Her family was Catholic, I believe, but they were kind of casually Catholic. They maybe went to Mass sometimes, but didn't necessarily, weren't necessarily super active in the church. But she, of her own volition, was very active in the church, loved it, felt like she found herself and her calling there, but kind of became so engrossed with it that she felt inherently unworthy, right? Or unclean or sinful all the time, right? Because that's, Catholic guilt is a thing, and the things that are told to people. Also, sorry, trigger warning, Catholicism, if you don't want to hear about that. Anyway, so it's about her journey, her mental health journey, and her personal journey. And then also her discovery that she was gay. And this podcast is treated with so much reverence and respect and love because it is written and narrated by, I believe, an investigative journalist. but someone who also wanted to be in the clergy of the Catholic Church and who is also gay. And he relates his stories and his history, his experiences, and his feelings to that of Alana. Alana did end up taking her own life when she was 24 years old. So a lot of it is interviews with her mother, her friends, and she left a huge amount, an extensive amount of beautifully written diaries. So they're getting a lot of information from her diaries, and it's just an incredibly moving, interesting podcast, and I highly recommend it. The other podcast that I really enjoyed, also on the darker side, it's in the name, it's called Dark Valley, and it is about a serial killer, and it has interviews with I think at least one, I know for sure at least one survivor of this person's attacks, and getting, like, you know, it's investigatory, and it's an unsolved case. So this person has never been caught, if it is just one person, and there is going to be a season 3. I think I listened to 2 seasons. Very beautiful, very sensitive, very compelling, wonderful narrator and journalist, like interviewer, but also very traumatic. So if you are not a fan of true crime, do not listen to that podcast. I'm currently also listening to one called The Coldest Case in Laramie, and that one was created by a reporter, journalist who grew up in Laramie, about a cold case from, I believe, 1986, 1985-ish. It's pretty good so far. It's really interesting. It's about, I don't know, I don't want to give it away. Just if you're interested, check out The Coldest Case in Laramie. Laramie is in Wyoming, P.S. It's like this small town. Okay, so music / what I've been doing. So I have to shout out the new Doja Cat album, Scarlet. I think it's genius. I think it's amazing. I love her doing like darker stuff. I love her doing more rap focused stuff. I also think that her samples are genius and her beats are genius, and it's very nuanced. It's very layered. So if you give the album a listen and you don't like it, I mean, firstly, if it's not your style and you don't like it, fine, totally get that. But if you do like Doja Cat, I do recommend you listening to it 2-3 times, because you're going to pick up how beautiful and how intentioned the music is. Not just the lyrics, not just her rhymes, like, and not just her voice, because she has a great voice, but the music itself. I just think it's so well produced. It's so her. I really respect like what she's saying. It's something I've really, really been enjoying. Also love the Olivia Rodrigo album. Not every song, but there are songs that just hit really, really well. I think she's doing like the 90s, I don't know, like poppy grunge rock and roll really, really well. Lacey is like one of the best songs I've heard in a really long time. Her voice is incredible. I could go on. Great sophomore album. I never really listened to Sour. I'm 37. She's like 17, right? So, Driver's License is a great song. Like, you know, Deja Vu is a great song, but I just didn't feel like compelled to listen to Sour, like the album. But this album I can listen to, and I think it's really, really good. The lyrics are great. She has some great songwriting partners, and she's a great songwriter herself. Really, really fun. Really fun to tap into like that teenage energy. We're all teenagers at heart, at least I am. And that goes into what I've been doing, which is I saw Beyonce, and it was incredible. And it like made me want to cry. Like, she is such a queen. I love her so much. It's just like such a, I don't know, like career milestone. Like, it just felt like such an important tour that I wasn't planning on going, actually. And a friend of mine suggested it, and we got nosebleeds, and we were like, if this is the last row, we were one in front of it. We were so high up, but it didn't matter. We could see the screen. It was so well done. She's such a professional. She's so gorgeous. Like, the whole time I was just like, how is this woman so beautiful? Like, she was glowing. I loved being able to see Blue Ivy dance, and like, it was so incredible. I wish I would have been there for her birthday one, but we were there September 1st, so it was like a few days before. I also went and I didn't see Taylor Swift in concert, but I did go to the movie the day it came out. So like, I think October 12th, like Thursday. And incredible. Oh my God, it was so good. I mean, I knew it was going to be good, but it was so good to the point where like, I liked songs I didn't like from her before, because it was like the live band and the arrangement and the way she sang it was so much better. You know, she's an adult now. Like, she wanted it to be like as dynamic and impactful as she could, and she succeeded. Like, my friend and I cried multiple times watching it. Like, we were grooving. It was so good. I never ever thought I was going to be a Swiftie, and here I am. Okay, so then the last thing of what I've been doing, I mentioned before, I joined the Stickii Club, which is just a subscription service with stickers, because I'm anticipating having journals in 2024, and I want them to be cute and aesthetic, because everything I do has to be cute and aesthetic. So you can pick one or more, actually, like depending on how much you want to pay a month, between 3 categories. So it's pop, cute, and vintage. And I picked vintage because more often than not, like, that's my aesthetic. But pop and cute have really great stickers too. But you can go on their website and like buy sheets individually from like different styles. So I feel like that's what I'll end up doing if I want something from a different collection. And then they give you a collection of like sheets and like sticker sleeves, and sometimes note cards or postcards or greeting cards every month, like once a month. So fun and so cute. I got my first one in October, and I can't wait to use them. I haven't decided if I'm going to start using them before January or not. Maybe I will. I mean, they're October, right? So maybe I will. Okay. So I guess I have 2 books to show you. I finally got a workbook that I've been wanting ever since I first saw it on Rose Honey Rituals channel. It's just a reference book. It doesn't give you like information. You have to look up the information yourself, right? But it's called The Great Workbook. It's on Etsy. I will link it. And it's a study book. It has astrology and tarot, Kabbalah and tarot, like the different cards of tarot and like their definitions. Like, it's something that you fill out yourself, right? And then it does have reference charts, which is like one of my favorite things. I'm sure this has been shown before on YouTube, but I just received mine. I just started filling it out. I'm not finished with this yet, but how fun is that? It makes me so happy. Yeah, so it looks like this. I'm really excited to do these, and it also very scares me because I don't know anything about it. There's room for notes, which is so great. Okay, I'm going to go to the reference charts because these are really cool. Okay, so we have the keywords and titles of the Rider-Waite, the Crowley, Thoth, and the Tarot de Marseille. Very cool. And then also like keywords, which is really cool too. We have the symbol references, the Kabbalistic language, and the Kabbalistic color scales. And then, oh, it's by Numinous Press. So here's like the info. So you can go get it. Really excited about that. It's like just something cool to do, to put down like all the info in my, that I try to keep in my head, right? Love it. And then the only book I've been reading lately is the Golden Eclipse Tarot Guidebook. I got this on Amazon, and I got the deck through a Kickstarter that took like 3 years. But I didn't even know there was a book. And I don't know, I just like saw someone with it, or I saw it online and I was like, what the heck? And it was on Amazon, so I got it. I've been reading it. I'm just in the beginning, and you can probably tell because I have lots of, yeah, okay. So I've highlighted stuff I like. My only criticism so far, I even don't hate that it's like really big font. It makes it a really thick book. It's kind of not. It's just because the font is huge. But I find that it repeats itself a lot. Like it's really redundant within its own chapters. Like I'll read a few sentences and then a paragraph later I'll read the same sentences just like worded a little bit differently. So that's kind of a bummer, but so far I really, really like the descriptions of the astrology because this is an astrological deck. It is a tarot deck, but it has like a lot of astrology in it. And I'm really picky about the way people talk about the signs, and I'm really loving the way the signs are described in this book, to the point where like, I mean, there's not necessarily things I don't know already, but there are some ways that things are worded that I'm like, oh wow, that's something I really want to remember, you know? That's a way that I'd love to explain things to someone else when reading, or when just talking about astrology. So it's really cool so far. My intention is to finish it so I can go into the deck with a lot of knowledge, you know? Okay, so speaking of that, we're finally here, 40 minutes in, to the tarot, to the decks that I have recently acquired, I guess. And I guess the first one should be the Golden Eclipse Tarot. Like I said, this was, I don't know, it felt like a 3-year journey of getting this. I feel bad for the creator. It's by Marie Satori, artwork by Carmen Sejas and Marie Satori. This is a round deck, just like the Zodiac wheel. It is gold and black mostly. It's matte. It has like a soft gold edge. It's like, it looks like brassy, you know? These are the backs. It's not too huge. Like I can hold it in my hand, which is nice, right? I think these were, yeah, these were the planetary cards. So we have Saturn. I'm not gonna do a full flip through, but I wonder what these numbers are. I haven't gotten to this point in the book yet. Okay, very cool. The cardstock isn't what I expected, but I don't know what I was expecting. Like, it's matte, but it's not sticky. It's not like a rose petal, which is good. But something about it, I don't know. Like, it doesn't feel as luxurious as I thought it would. I don't know why, though. I can't put my finger on it. I will do a walkthrough of this, so I'm not going to waste like either of our time right now with that, because it just would be too long of a video. But I really do love the imagery, and I am reminded as to like why I backed this in the first place. This is very much like an ode to the marigold, no? Like, it is very special. I don't know if like the lighting is good enough or it's picking up how pretty these are. I love all the flowers. Oh, that's weird. It's like here and they're going this way, and I feel like usually they're going this way. I think what I'll do is do a walkthrough of this once I'm done with the book, so I can have more answers for you than questions. Love this. Ravenclaw. Just kidding. I know Ravenclaw is an eagle, just so you guys know. And if you have questions about why Ravenclaw's sigil is an eagle, just comment below and I'll tell you why. Or you can tell everybody else why if you are a Harry Potter nerd like me. Really excited to use that one. I think it'll be a big one for 2024, especially because I am actually walking the walk instead of just talking the talk, and I'm reading the book. The next deck is one that I feel so honored to have, and I'm so excited to show you. I've had it for a little while now. It's the Deva Tarot by Piotnik, and I actually purchased this from Astral Lady Tarot, Anna, because she didn't connect with it, and this has been on my wish list for a while, so I was able to purchase it from her, and I'm so grateful because it is so special. I am going to do a walkthrough of this one too, but I just wanted to show you kind of the vibe. It's very thick, very cardboardy. The backs are incredible. Like, I love like a simple back like this. Hello, hello. Don't mind I can't hide my really yucky nails right now, but I just don't want to pay money to get the gel extensions off, so I just like cut them down when they get too long and then like wait for them to either pop off or just grow out. So that's why this is happening. Okay, back to the Deva. Look at these colors. I can't. I love the font. I love the borders. Everything about like the design of this deck is just incredible to me. It reminds me of Barbara Moore, no? The colors. It's very thothy with like the flowers and everything. And then, oh, I guess I should explain. It has an extra suit. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it means. I tried to look at this and it doesn't say. It just goes straight into like what the meanings are, but it doesn't talk about. Wait, let me see. Yeah, like it has an extra major called the separator, and then it goes into triacs, and it doesn't say anything about what triacs is, which I think is like the spiritual, yeah, like the spiritual suit, like the fifth element kind of thing. I need to read more about it, but that's what this suit is. Like, are you kidding? This deck is such a work of art. Ugh. It's so good. I love it so much. Ugh. It's so beautiful. I like don't even have words. Deva is also an Indian word for kind of like that which can't be like perceived, like this like god and goddess like being. But yeah, that's just hello. This is gonna have its moment in 2024 as well, but I definitely want to do some more studying on this deck in general, so I can come to it just with the right knowledge, because I really want to get the most I can out of this deck, you know? Okay, the Cat's Eye Tarot. You want to know something? I had never seen this deck before, and then Peekaboo Rose, the lovely Peekaboo Rose, used it in a reading about, I believe, about boundaries, and I was enamored. Like, look at that. And I said, I must have this. And so I immediately went online and got it, and I regret nothing. Please let me know if you want walkthroughs of any of these decks, if I am not already planning on doing so. Okay, I think because the rest of the decks I have for you are either standard or a little bit smaller, I'm going to lower this camera. There we go. Like, is this not the sweetest thing? The faces of these cats all have something kind of like uncanny about them, like a little bit weird, a little bit off, like most of them. But I'm not mad. Like, I'm not mad. I love the cup suit. And if you notice, like, all the pentacles, I believe, are tabbies. All the swords are, I believe they're all pointed. They're all Siamese. All the wands are orange cats. And all of the cups are tuxedo. And it's just the cutest, sweetest thing. It's beautiful. I have a few favorites. I don't know if like, no, I don't think I've shown them. I don't think they're coming up, but if you want a walkthrough of this, I will show you my favorites because they're just very cute. And it's just a standard size, published by US Games. It feels great, it shuffles great, it's wonderful. And I love it so much. Thank you, Peekaboo Rose. I love you. Okay, so this deck I've been wanting forever. It's just a majors deck. It has like a few extra cards. It is really well designed. It's really cool, psychedelic. It looks like one of those like stamped art. And maybe it is. Like, do you see how like the paint, do you see how the ink like isn't even everywhere? Maybe this is done by like block stamping. Let's find out. Autonomic Tarot, Sophie Hollington, David Keenan. Autonomic Tarot is the product of a collaboration between writer David Keenan and artist Sophie Hollington. The pair have combined forces to create a linocut, it's not linocut tarot deck that retains an umbilical to the card's archaic roots, yet future visions it as a glam punk portal deep into the now, sorry. The deck accompanies and was born from Keenan's experimental novella To Run Wild in It, published through Rough Trade Books. I did not know that it goes with the novella. Are we not really focused? I'm so sorry. If you wanted to read that yourself here. So rude of me. Okay, so I had seen this online. And then I also saw 22 Zines. 22 Zines, I miss you. I hope you're doing okay. These are the backs. Wonderful. Great. Awesome. I had seen it on 22 Zines, and then I was like, okay, I really, really need this. And then I looked it up, and it was way expensive. And I was like, this is very rude. I mean, I'm sure they have reasons for it being expensive, but I couldn't justify it for just a majors deck. And then my friend Sarah at In 80s Blues decided to pass it on. So I purchased it from her, and I'm so grateful because it was so very affordable. It's just so nice of you, Sarah, very generous. And yeah, I had to snatch it up. So I am now the proud owner of the Autonomic Tarot. Okay, so see, these are the extra cards. So it has it has 2 cards per suit and like 2 different kind of keywords per suit. So for example, in discs, we have bravery and daring. And that does the same for cups, wands, swords. So that's the Autonomic. I'm very excited about using this. I do enjoy a majors deck. And just as an art piece, I feel like this is such a great thing to have. Right up my alley. The next one I've been wanting for a very long time. Very excited finally to get it. I was really scared that it was going to go out of print and I wasn't going to be able to get it. But I did. I pulled that trigger. The Sea Witch Tarot. And I think in a previous video of mine, someone suggested like, oh, you should get the Sea Witch Tarot. And I was like, yeah, I should. You're right. I've been wanting that. And it kind of just like lit a fire under me. This is an indie deck. I got it on Etsy. I guess we can talk about the deets. Willow White Raven presents Mademoiselle Dauphine or Dauphine. I thought Dauphine has an E on the end of it. Let's see how to pronounce this. Oh, I'm using my phone, so I can't. Okay, well, it's from the Enchanted Sea Witch Parlor. And it's inspired by Mademoiselle Dauphine. Was born at sea in 1872. Like, how cool is that? Her parents, a Maltese mariner father and French botanist mother, described her as an unusual girl with an uncanny knowledge of the occult and an intriguing affinity with the sea and birds. So I will not read the rest, but if you want a flip through of this, I will read everything of import and interest in the little pamphlet. These are the backs. It's a very sturdy cardstock, but still bendable and could definitely be riffle shuffled, I think. I don't riffle shuffle usually, so I probably wouldn't feel compelled to do that, but these are the cards. It's a lot. There's a lot going on here. I love this Lover's card. It's my card. And it's a mix. So it has these very visually heavy cards, and then it also has pip cards, which I think can throw people off because there isn't really a rhyme or reason. I think all the wands are pips, which is weird because I think there are 2 suits that are only pips and then 2 suits that are mixed. And I don't know what like the choice was there, but that's just the way it is. And this one I've seen on YouTube before. I think that's why I even know about this deck, is because I've seen it on YouTube. But it is really beautiful, and it's something that like little BB would have really loved and been drawn to. And I think it has a different setup as far as the courts. To my knowledge, it's princess, prince, king, and then queen. I think that's how it's set up in the pamphlet. So that's really cool because it's a sea witch. Also, like, how cute is this little beetle? I don't know if you can see like how pretty it is. The light. It's like green. My mom went to Ventura to visit my brother, and she saw this and thought of me, and she got it for me, and I adore it. I love it very much. Okay, I have 2 more. This is this little baby in this really cute, what would you call this? Turquoise? Teal? Kind of turquoise, huh? This little drawstring bag is a deck called Cats in the Garden, and I first saw this on Spirited Stardust's channel, and it is the sweetest thing. It's an oracle deck, and it has the sun, moon, and rising placements of each sign, and then a keyword associated with that placement, along with a kitty cat. So, of course, I had to snatch it up because, like, how do you resist this? It is so sweet and such a fun like addition to readings, and also fun to like find your friends, right? So let's see if I can find one of my friends, like top 3 or big 3, however you want to slice it. Okay, she is an Aries sun. Sorry, I'm not focused. Okay, an Aries sun, a Scorpio moon, and a Gemini rising. So her keywords are socialize, assert, and camouflage. Like, isn't that so cute? I love it. Okay, let me do, I have another bestie who is a Pisces moon, a Virgo sun, and a Sag rising. Adventure, Analyze, Flow. Like, the cutest. Okay, well, we have to do me, right? Because that's what you care about. Kidding, I'm kidding. That's what I care about. Okay, so I'm a Gemini sun, a Leo rising, and an Aries moon. Shine, adapt, achieve. Like, I love. If you want to flip through of this, let me know, just like always. Okay, I lied. Now I have 2 more. So, The Goddess of Love Tarot by Gabby Herstick is getting its moment in the sun. It's fully deserving. Gabby is incredible. Also, Julia Popescu, Snakes for Hair on Instagram, is an amazing artist. She did the art for this deck, and I love both of them. I love Gabby. I was gonna say she has a book about sexuality and like divinity and sexuality and Venus, and I'm blanking on the name of it, but I'll put the cover of the book here. I want it so badly. I haven't gotten it, but it's definitely a theme for 2024, so I will be getting it. I messed up, you guys. I got this deck. I loved it. And then I was like, but it's just kind of big. It doesn't feel like as luxurious as I want it to. I thought maybe it would be better and easier to handle if I trimmed it. And I know I've seen other people talk about doing that, you know, to this deck. And so I did. And my paper cutter is like old and not as sharp as it should be. And I don't have a corner rounder yet. So like, I don't know what I was thinking. And I had a reading with it before I trimmed it. And I was like, oh my God, I love this deck. This reading is so incredible. And you guys know how I feel about readings for myself, and it was still so incredible. Like, it's so gorgeous. Like, I don't know what I was thinking, but I got so sad. I trimmed it, and it looks like this. And I just want to die. Like, I just want to die. And I think what I decided is that I'm going to get another copy, and then I'm going to use these images to journal with in my Venus journal for 2024. But because I did this to one card, and like before you get going with like, oh, you just do like the corners and maybe it'll be blah, blah, blah. I don't want to fix it. I want it the way it is. I'm not a good trimmer. If I did anything, I would just do a micro trim and do like half of the red gone and round the corners a little bit tighter, right? But I just don't trust myself. I'm not good at it. I don't want to do it. I just want a new, intact, perfect one. And it's such a like serendipitous thing, I think, to be able to have this one, to be free to journal with and cut up and include like on the pages, right? So I think what I'm gonna do in 2024 is maybe like draw a card a week, maybe. Yeah, I think that's probably what I'll do. And then whichever card I draw, say like I draw the Witch of Pentacles that week, and then I can cut this however I want, like artistically, and put that in that week's page or pages. And so I'll be able to see the image in the journal with the timeline, right, throughout the year. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I couldn't recommend like this deck more. I really do wish that the quality was better. It does feel cardboardy. It doesn't feel luxurious in your hands. But the price point is incredible and the images are worth it. And the creators are amazing. So, I mean, it is what it is. And it's great. I also like don't love the back, but that's okay. I do love pink. I just think it could have been cooler. And I do love red. Red is my favorite color. So like, I don't know what I was thinking about needing to get rid of these red borders. Like, what is wrong with me? I don't know. I think it was my, you know what it was? I think it was like my, like my effort, like attempt at like making it feel more luxurious, right? And like, I just don't know, maybe it's just the white. I don't know, man. I don't know. There's just something that like composition wise and like formatting wise, like I just don't vibe with. But it's, I look at all of these cards and I'm like, they're so beautiful. Like, what do you even care? Like, what is the problem, you know? Anyway, that's my saga. You guys, I didn't back this. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. Maybe I just saw this and was like, that's not my thing, you know, and didn't even look into it. Or maybe I clicked on it and saw some cards and thought, nah, pass. I had no idea, like, what an incredible deck this was. And I also saw thumbnails for walkthroughs of it and was like, meh. I don't know what was wrong with me. And then the other day I saw someone feature it in a YouTube video and I was like beside myself, and I immediately went online. This is the Heartscape Tarot, by the way, a Camelt Studio limited partnership. It was a limited run. I heard there were only 1,200 copies, but mine says 1,473. So I don't know if they started at like 1 or if it's like all of them are like a higher number, or if they printed 2,000 and not 1,200. I don't know. If you do, let me know. But anyway, I saw this on someone's channel and them walking through it, and I just was beside myself that I hadn't given this a better, I don't know, look, you know, a better, like, I didn't consider it. The backs are gorgeous. I don't think they could be better. I love them. I'm obsessed with them. The hologram star edging is the most beautiful edging maybe I've ever seen. Is that not incredible? Like, what? Hello. So it's magic. Like, this is a magic deck. And they're all horizontal. I don't know why I'm talking to you like you don't know, because you probably have seen this and I'm kind of the only one. I'm going to zoom in. I don't know. I'm gonna do a walkthrough. Like, it's upsetting. Anyway, okay, BB, how'd you get it? A friend of mine purchased hers through a seller on Instagram who had sealed, authenticated copies. She probably, I don't know if there was a wholesale option on the Kickstarter, but that's probably what she did. But I don't know if she has like an official shop. I messaged her on Instagram. Thank goodness I got that tip, because I really was just like screaming into the void, into the Discord, and like was like, please, how can I get this and not pay $328? Yes, that is the price tag on Etsy for one of these authenticated decks. And I only found one of them, and I was like, there's no way that can happen. So anyway, yes, a dear, wonderful friend of mine who I'm so grateful to said, oh yeah, BB, like, I got mine from so-and-so, and I'm not going to call them out because I don't think they have any more. So I'm really sorry. I hope that this somehow finds its way. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sorry. I'm sorry if you can't get it, but I'm not sorry for showing it. Like, there are tons of decks out there, and people love decks for certain reasons and different reasons. And next month, something that moves you more than this could come out. Next month, someone could sell this at a great price because they didn't connect with it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to be insensitive. I just am trying to share my joy. And there are plenty of decks that I have missed out on, you know? Okay, anyway, I'm sorry that I don't seem to sound like callous. I just am so excited, and this is like my safe place where I get to talk about the things that really excite me, right? I'll do a walkthrough of this if you would like one. There's a great one on Spirited Stardust's channel, I believe. I just feel so, I don't know, so lucky that it worked out for me on this. I feel like this touches a part of like my inner child. I'd love to do like a yes, no, maybe on this deck, because I'm not pulled or like moved by every card, but there are a lot of cards in here that I just think are really wonderful. There's also a QR code for like the digital guidebook, because it doesn't come with a guidebook, and I'd really love to look into that. It's like, I don't know, all your favorite stories and books like wrapped into one thing. Like, wow, I don't know of anything like this. If you have a deck that's like this, or that even certain cards remind you of like a deck that you own, let me know, because that would be really helpful for other people too if they don't already have this deck. So then, like, yeah, this is the QR code if you are interested in looking at the guidebook. Wow, I just don't have words. It's very similar to how I felt about getting the Majestic Earth. I feel like I'm holding like magic in my hands. I really do. So that's kind of the at present. I'll definitely keep you updated on what I'm going to be doing for 2024. You will know, because I will outline it like probably in a detailed way, because I'm just really geared up. Like, I'm really stoked. And I just want to thank you for being here. Thanks for being curious. Thanks for being my friend. And please like and subscribe. You thought I was going to say it, but I didn't. Please like and subscribe. You can join if you want to join. I have memberships now, and I will be offering, you know, extra content and special like badges. And I'm having a good fall. It's better than summer. Oh, last thing. I posted a little while ago, finally, what I did in June. And it's a really fun little vlog, and I would recommend you watching it. There's like a shadow, and I don't like it. So yeah, if you're interested and you want to be entertained, go check out my June vlog. And I'm also, I'll be posting my July vlog this week. I know that it's super belated, but who cares? Like, this is what I did in June, and this is what I did in July. I will link excuse me, I will link my June vlog here at the end, okay? My mom's coming and I gotta go.